Major financial news today with Elon Musk taking over Twitter once again. That on-off relationship looks to be back on the table. We have Ray Dalio, one of the greatest investors of all time, resigning, plus BTC with an indicator now really popping off. All of this in today's video. If you enjoy the content, please subscribe to the channel and drop me a comment. So let's start here with Elon taking over Twitter yet again. So he's offering to buy at the original price that he quoted, 44 billion US dollars. We then had the game of we're not buying it anymore, but now this seems to be back on once again, since this was due to go to trial in just 2 weeks' time. So Elon Musk pulling out led to Twitter execs taking him to court. So that was due to happen on October the 17th. But he has now said, nope, I will indeed continue as planned and buy Twitter at a share price of $54.20 per share. And so we can adjourn that trial and any other subsequent ones related to it. Now, was this a game of poker in his mind? Was he trying to maybe get the price to come down? Was he waiting for a financial collapse in the wider markets to make another predatory offer? We don't yet know. But it looks like $44 billion is the price tag he is now happy to pay. So if we just look at the Twitter share price right now, it had a rocket, an absolute SpaceX moon mission here over the last 24 hours, going from roughly $42 all the way up to $52. And could we perhaps see it close in on the share price of $54.20, which Elon is paying as markets resume today? This was one heck of a move yesterday, and I think anyone with a bit of inside knowledge to this one may have profited immensely there, a huge 23% rip on the daily. So we'll see how things head up going in today's session. Buying Twitter is an accelerant to creating X, the everything app, says Elon in his tweet yesterday. He's talked about having some all-encompassing app, apparently called X, which is also the name of the holding company actually looking to buy Twitter that is under his control. See the website here. Not much of note on the website, but that is his X Holdings.org. But as it pertains to this new application, he's talked in quite detail, actually, in recent posts, saying how we need an application that allows for free speech, for people to share their thoughts, their conversations, their videos, their content, and for content creators to be paid well for doing so in an environment that does not censor participants. So in this video that I'll leave just down below, he actually talks about how this could be Twitter and a future for Twitter, or he could just create a brand new application as a new standalone. But it seems that with a $44 billion bid back on the table, he is yet again going to create this X app with Twitter as the baseline. Now, every time Elon speaks or tweets, you usually see some nice fireworks from Dogecoin. This was no exception. With the Twitter announcement coming out, Dogecoin ripped roughly 9% overnight, as there have been many talks from Elon about integrating Doge as a payment rail onto Twitter itself. He has made that known time and time again. He even tweeted this back in 2021. It's inevitable, and then the meme of Dogecoin taking over as the standard and replacing the global financial system. So the meme lord strikes yet again, pumping Dogecoin during his pursuit to take over the biggest social media app out there, Twitter. Then we also have breaking news as legendary investor Ray Dalio resigns from Bridgewater Associates, the company he founded many years ago. Now this, as the headlines may suggest, a shock resignation. It really isn't that. This is more to do with succession planning and a real passing of the torch here from one of the best investors in our lifetimes. Bridgewater Associates, $140 billion in assets under management, and Ray, the author of two epic books, Principles That Everyone Knows, and then most recently, The Changing World Order, which is a must read for anyone to try and understand what is going on in financial markets and the global political landscape right about now. So Ray is passing the torch here. He tweeted out just earlier, today's a very special day for me and Bridgewater Associates because I transitioned my control of Bridgewater to the next generation, and I feel great about the people and machine now in control. So he leaves the company to co-CEOs, so a duo now running this. This actually took place at the start of this year, with both CEOs Nir Bardia and also Mark Bertolini taking over in that co-CEO role, and now having had a reasonable length of handover time Ray has now seen it fit to really step away here. He is taking up a brand new role within the company, but will not have the final say within Bridgewater Associates. So a massive, massive change here. One of the greatest investors of all time, kind of hanging up the Bloomberg terminal, if you will, and now sitting aside to let others take forward the company that he built over so many years. But on a day as BTC breaks above 20,000, we just tapped 20.4K. He is now expected to maybe leave the company and its huge AUM under a new set of leadership, which potentially may encompass a bit more crypto-based assets in their investment strategy. So in this article published back in February of 2022, they talked about Ray Dalio and Bridgewater starting to look at crypto assets. So there was a quote here from a Bridgewater spokesperson saying the firm did not currently have plans to invest in cryptocurrencies, despite 4 people saying the hedge fund giant was due to enter the space by mid-2022. Their quote being, "While we will not comment on our positions, we can say Bridgewater continues to actively research crypto, but is not currently planning on investing in crypto." But the article signs off that they are doing serious due diligence, liquidity, service providers, and whatnot. So it is expected that there will be a Bridgewater fund into crypto assets or digital assets more widely, and that the likes of these huge hedge funds in the US will really start seriously taking on crypto assets and allowing their investors access to this developing market. So as we seem to be, at least near the bottom of the crypto market here in a deep bear market, it would make sense that some of these big money managers and hedge funds across the globe are starting to potentially accumulate during these deep lows, as these guys really do know how to buy low and sell high. It would not surprise me whatsoever if we find out in 6 months' time that the likes of Bridgewater Associates and others were DCAing and getting involved during this period of market turmoil. Then we have the Bitcoin indicator flashing red right now, a bit of a breakout here for Bitcoin dominance. So I want to talk a little bit about Bitcoin dominance here. This was highlighted yesterday by Pentoshi. He says this: what I think would be important for any sustained rally, i.e. the Bitcoin rally that is starting to take a little bit of life here, is that Bitcoin leads and the alt BTC bleeds back into Bitcoin. So this means that people start to puke out of their bags, as he says, from altcoins and move back into the safety of Bitcoin. This is a trend that has happened in previous market cycles. Bitcoin dominance needs to recover in order for the market to recover. So this is a healthy thing for this to be occurring. And as he says, if people start aping into longs on leverage, chasing all these different alts, then this rally is unlikely to last very long. So for a sustained and healthy rally, we need BTC dominance to be trending on up here. So this is the yellow line positioned at around 41.5% market dominance. So 41.5% of the total crypto market cap being taken up by Bitcoin's market cap alone. We tagged this a few occasions here over the last couple of weeks, but now we've had our first breakout in quite some time. Around back here in May of 2022, when Bitcoin had a meteoric rise in its dominance, we then obviously languaged and really dumped down here into the early stages of September of 2022, but starting to make a move back on up. So the point here being is easily shown on a weekly time frame. In order for a market cycle to reset, history shows us that the BTC dominance needs to come up towards here. January 2021, this is when altcoin season started for the last cycle, and previous major moves for altcoins happened here around November, December of 2017, going from around 70% all the way down to sub 40%. So over time, what we're likely to see is Bitcoin dominance maybe doesn't get back up to these lofty heights, 70, 72%, because of course, over time, more altcoins enter the market space. So it kind of becomes unfair on Bitcoin to be compared versus, thousands of new coins each and every year. But if we do come up somewhere around, high 60s, mid 60s even, around this kind of range around here, we will see Bitcoin reset the market once again, regain the strength, and then we're waiting for an opportunity like this in the next cycle for BTC dominance to really peak out, and then as it comes flooding down, the floodgates open and altcoins go absolutely parabolic yet again. So this is the health of the market cycle. But as you can see, this peak above the trend line here is hardly noticeable at this time, but if we zoom in, what we want to see is this start to really make its way up here and hopefully put in a higher high, at which point you're going to see altcoins bleed in their BTC pairs. So this means if Bitcoin continues to gain some value, maybe the altcoins will just sit still in the USD pairings, or maybe even lose value in the USD pairings. If you just go onto CoinGecko and change your denominator to BTC, you can easily see it on here. When everything's red, it's losing value in its Satoshi denominated amounts. Bitcoin's gaining strength, the altcoins are bleeding out versus Bitcoin. And then if BTC does have a bit of a dump, but can continue its dominance surging, this means altcoins will be on super discounts. So although this is like a bit of a blood sport at this point, this is where we could see the generational buying opportunities for many altcoins, with Bitcoin leading the charge, taking up some of the altcoin air, sucking the life out of the altcoins, and then if it dumps, further increasing its dominance and pushing the Satoshi values down on many altcoins to really low points. This is the dream. So for the health of the market, historically speaking, this needs to occur, and this will mean that DCAing into your main positions over a long period of time could have amazing results over the next market blow off top cycle. So we'll leave off here looking at this indicator. Let's see where this develops over the coming days and weeks. It's a very important one for the health of the market. Let's stay tuned, stay subscribed, and drop me a comment down below if you enjoyed this one, guys. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.